So now we're gonna move on to the things that I love about Solusi. Okay, yes, I do actually. There are things that I actually love about the school. So the first thing that I'm gonna talk about is something that I touched on in the things that I do not like about Solusi is the proximity of the school from town. Let me explain. While it's a little bit inconvenient to kind of have to literally travel all the way from school to town whenever you decide to, because it's just far. But I actually kind of appreciate that because I feel like having the school be isolated and be away from everything is just better for the student in the long run. Like, you know, schools that are located in the middle of town, schools that are located where everything else is going on, it becomes hard to kind of focus on what you need to be focusing on because you're out here trying to go clubbing all the time, you're out here trying to do this and that, you want to be a part of the scene, you want to be, you know what I'm saying? Yes, the experiences matter, yes, you need to live your life, and so on and so forth, but the most important thing that you're there at school for is your academics. And I feel like Solusi being far from town makes it very, very easy for you to just focus on your books. People are gonna go to town regardless, but I like that it's far because it just makes it a little bit harder for people to do that. Me personally, again, I said this is my personal opinions. I love that it's far from town because I feel like it just keeps me out of trouble. The second thing that I love about Solusi is the diet. Yes, I said that. A lot of people are going to just go off at me for saying that because a lot of people actually hate the food that they serve at the cafeteria. But you know what, to be honest, that food is actually really not that bad, guys. I know that people have different palates, right? People have different tastes, people have different preferences. I don't love it in the sense that if I had a choice to eat Solusi food and something else that I would always pick Solusi food. No, it's not the best tasting food in the world, but at the same time it's really not that bad, guys. It's actually, I actually think it's fairly good food. People eat crappy food in schools. Like every time I hear people and the way people complain about the food, it's like, to me, I'm there like, what did you guys eat in secondary school? Like, did you guys eat pizza? Did you guys have like spaghetti and like mac and cheese? Did you guys like, I don't know, like what did y'all eat in boarding school for you to call that bad food? You guys must have really good boarding schools in Zimbabwe if you call that horrible food. Malawian boarding schools, if you're from Malawi and you've been to a Malawian boarding school, now I'm not talking about, listen, if you've been to an academy, if you've been to a high school, please sit your ass down. I'm talking to people who've been to private secondary schools. If you've been to a Malawian private secondary school, you know what I'm talking about. Now, it's not all of them, okay? I haven't been to all the secondary schools. I can only speak for the one that I have been to. Again, I'm not here to bash. Listen, I'm not trying to get anyways, okay? I'm not bashing. I'm not gonna mention what school that is. Listen, the food we get in Solusi is really not that bad, okay? I've seen worse. The next thing that I love about Solusi is the strong sense of community. I know I sound extremely dorky saying that, but I actually do appreciate how close the community is, because it's not just the school, there's actually people that live inside Solusi. I love how close the community is in Solusi, and it's like when you become a part of it, they embrace you as well. Very nice people. At first I thought it was pretentious, but eventually you realize that it's actually genuine, you know. And I appreciate that about Solusi. That's actually pretty cool. And the next thing that I love about Solusi is the number of students per lecture. I've been at the University of Botswana where you literally have like 100 to 150 students at a time sometimes for one course. For me personally, it was really hard to kind of get the help that I needed. I'm not the fastest learner in the world. I'm actually kind of slow sometimes, especially with numbers. It's hard to get that special attention when the lecturer has to focus on hundreds of other students. Whereas at Solusi, the number of students is very small. There's just some sense of, you know, intellectual intimacy between the lecturers and the students, and that just makes it easier for you to understand things. The lecturers make sure that everybody's on board, everybody's understanding. I'm not saying that the lecturers at UB aren't willing to help. I'm just saying that it's easier for lecturers to handle a smaller number of students than it is a larger number of students. Next thing I like about Solusi, which is a little bit weird or odd, is the environment. What I mean about the environment in this context is Solusi is no Rhodes University. Okay, Solusi is no Monash. Solusi is a very special looking school. And again, listen, I'm not bashing. This is just the truth of the matter. If you want to debate with me, if you want to disagree with me, that is fine. For me personally, Solusi is not the best looking place in the world. Let me put it this way. In other universities, because of the way the environment is, I don't know, people get comfortable. I actually kind of like how this place looks, you know what I'm saying? If I fail, you know, I could just come back for another semester, like who cares? This is, you know, it's not a bad looking place. Why wouldn't I want to spend 7 years, you know, in the school? But Solusi is not the type of place you want to spend all that time. Yeah, okay, like you want to just do your thing and get out. Me personally. So again, it's helped me improve my grades. It's helped me stay focused because I just want to finish and dip out. I don't want to be there for any extra semesters. I'm not trying to stay there for longer than I should, and I see that as a good thing. It's kind of like the way it looks is a wake-up call. It helps you appreciate the things that you have. And I am not saying please do not take me out of context. I'm not saying that it's inhabitable or anything like that. It's really not. But I'm just saying that coming from where I was coming from the school that I was coming from, Solusi was a wake-up call. Solusi kind of helped me put things into perspective and, you know, just get my shit in order. So I'm appreciative of the environment. The next thing that I love about Solusi are the people. Now, I'm not just talking about the community that, you know, is based there. Even the students, you know, the students in Solusi are pretty cool. Everyone is friendly. Of course, everybody's gonna have character flaws. I've got character flaws. I know that I'm not perfect. Nobody is. But, you know, people in Solusi are just really, really nice. Just people in Solusi are nice. Okay, students, everyone's just really nice. The next thing that I love, I'm actually getting tired. The next thing that I love about Solusi is the prohibition of jewelry and makeup. Let me explain. Again, these are my opinions. These are my personal views, right? I used to be the kind of girl that couldn't go anywhere without a pair of earrings on because I felt like it looked weird, which is ridiculous. I used to be the kind of girl in my previous university where I couldn't go to school without doing my brows. I couldn't go to school without, you know, putting on foundation or concealer or whatever. I couldn't go to school without wearing lipstick. Like, you know, I just became so self-obsessed and so vain, right? Like I was just so concerned with my looks that by the time I went to Solusi and now I'm like forced to not wear jewelry, I'm forced to not wear makeup, it just helped me kind of appreciate my natural beauty. Like I honestly, guys, did not believe that I was beautiful without makeup, but Solusi has taught me that I am. Solusi has taught me that I'm gorgeous. Like I don't need a pair of earrings to look good. I don't need makeup to look good. Right now, I just wear these things for the sake of I want to, and I feel like it's a part of me, but otherwise, I can now step into town without having to do a face beat. I could step into town without doing my brows. I could step into town without wearing earrings or anything like that. Like I feel confident in myself and I don't feel like I need any accessories to be confident. And Solusi has taught me that because of the fact that they don't allow jewelry or makeup. Actually, I should have actually made that my number one because it's helped me discover my true beauty. You know, it's helped me realize that beauty is skin deep. It's not just about how you look. It's not just about your outer appearance, but what's inside really does always matter. I really appreciate that about Solusi. I'm very, very grateful that I went there because if I hadn't gone there, I wouldn't have discovered that, you know. So it's annoying, but big up to y'all for that. Big up. The final joint number 10 thing that I love and hate about Solusi are the clothing restrictions. Now at Solusi, you're not just allowed to, you know, dress up like a mess. Okay, they have rules. You're not allowed to show your shoulders. You're not allowed to wear things. I'm gonna say the rule is that you shouldn't wear anything above your knees. People do it because, you know, students are gonna be students, but it's not allowed. We're not allowed to wear skinnies, like just things that are too tight. Even if it's a dress, it just shouldn't be too tight. You know, your butt shouldn't be sticking out. Like just don't be extra. Like it's just not allowed to look extra, in other words. Obviously you can't wear crop tops or anything like that. So it's a very reserved institution. They really try to instill modesty in us. On the one hand, I love that and appreciate that because I do feel like sometimes people take things to the extreme, okay? I've seen females dress up in despicable ways. I'm not judging you for choosing to dress the way that you dress, but I just feel like some attention is unnecessary. Like if you're comfortable in your body, there's other ways that you can do that without disrespecting yourself. Me personally is how I feel. So I appreciate that they try to instill modesty in us. At the same time, however, I feel like modesty is subjective. You can dress a certain way, you can look a certain way, appear on the outside as if you're a good person, appear on the outside as if you're modest, but on the inside all you have is just a big black hole. So I don't believe in trying to look a certain way when you've got a whole lot of filth on the inside. I believe in teaching females, teaching young girls to start working on their insides before they start to care about their appearances too much. I just feel like the approach that's being taken is off-site. They shouldn't be trying to teach girls that dressing a certain way will prevent men from looking at you or prevent men from becoming tempted, because how a man chooses to behave or how a man chooses to see a female or look at a female, that is between him and himself. You know what I'm saying? You can't control how someone else feels. You can't control how someone else behaves. How I dress is irrelevant. I could cover myself from head to toe. If a guy is gonna undress me, he's gonna address me regardless, okay? Me, what I'm wearing, showing my ankles, showing my thighs, it really doesn't matter. I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like society should stop teaching girls to dress in a way that is not provocative, and it should kind of be both ways. I feel like there's like double standards when it comes to dress codes, and it's not just in Solusi. Actually, I feel like this is across the board. We should stop teaching our younger girls to avoid provoking male attention, and also teach the younger boys to just be respectful of other people. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what I'm wearing. At the end of the day, that is my body and you have no right to it. While girls should respect themselves, and while females should kind of just, you know, there's just something respectful about dressing in a certain way, right? Now, I'm all for that, but at the same time, it shouldn't be that we're using modesty as, you know, a weapon against men. Like, I don't know, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm making sense, but that's just how I feel. Anyway, so that is it for this video. Those are my 10 things that I love and hate about Solusi. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I do not get expelled or suspended for making this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. I had fun doing it. If you guys have any questions about my school, if you're interested in enrolling, put that down in the comment section below. I can help you out. You know what I'm saying? I can hook you up. Quick reminder, if you haven't already, please do remember to subscribe before you leave. Before you close this here tab, before you decide to shut down your laptop or put away your phone, before you leave, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Make sure, if you like this video, to give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you put down your comments. If you do have any comments, put that down in the comment section below. Otherwise, it's been nice, it's been great. Now I gotta go eat. Literally, I haven't eaten since I woke up and I'm hungry, like my tummy's about to stop rolling. So I'm gonna go have my breakfast. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. Bye. She moved your maga.